where we think that just because we're doing our 20-minute walk every day and we're 400 pounds that we're just as healthy, and it doesn't matter, because it does in fact matter. Speaking of weight loss and obesity, we have someone really popular. I'm sure you've heard of Lizzo. She's very overweight, very outspoken, and very love your body. And you've probably seen all these videos. Do you think that this is good for society in general to just teach love and acceptance and at all sizes? That's great. Or is it potentially damaging, because we all know it's not healthy to be morbidly obese? I mean, personally, yes, love your body, love it enough to try and lose some weight.
So I think this actually relates to the last thing we were talking about. People have a certain bias, and they will then try to validate that bias with research. So this is kind of the I don't want to say the health of every size movement, because when that movement started, the message was pretty good, which was, regardless of if you're lean or overweight, you can practice healthy habits. Now, here's the funny thing about practicing healthy habits. If you practice them regularly, you probably lose weight, okay? But that movement has been co-opted by extremists who now say, well, calorie deficits don't work. In fact, they make you fatter. And obesity is completely genetic. There's nothing you can do, and you should accept yourself. I agree that it is possible to love yourself and accept yourself while also wanting to change. I love myself and I accept myself, but there are things I know I need to get better at. Like just being completely transparent. Like, I'm somebody who has a really hard time with like criticism. Like I need too much validation for my decisions. So like, that's why I go see a therapist, to try and get better at those things. The easiest thing in the world for me to say is like, hey, no, this is how I am. And if I love myself, I can't change those things because I'm perfect the way I am. But fuck no, I'm not perfect. I'm an idiot about some things like everybody else, right? So I think the messaging of love yourself is fine. I don't think obese people are less people. I've known obese people who are wonderful people, like who are just like absolutely wonderful people. My father is overweight. He is like one of the best people I know. My dad is awesome, but he's got this thing, right? Now he would tell you that it's definitely his fault. It's lifestyle choices, like dad wouldn't try to pass the buck. But yeah, I think as far as Lizzo goes, first off, great music. Can't hate the music. But I think that this is kind of, I'm not a psychologist, but my guess is this is trying to validate herself to feel better about something that she actually probably doesn't like, but maybe she does. I don't know. Regardless, I think that the messaging should be the following. To me, it's okay to love yourself, and it's okay to be obese, but here are the downsides to being obese. And if you're okay with those downsides, then hey, it's not my job to tell people how to live their lives, right? But don't tell me that it's not detrimental to health, because we have, there was a recent meta-analysis where they looked at people who are what were called obese but healthy, which basically is they're obese, but all their blood markers are normal, right? They don't have elevated triglycerides. They don't have high blood pressure. They don't have high blood glucose. Their insulin sensitivity is good. Their inflammation levels are good. So even amongst healthy obese, they still had higher rates of cardiovascular disease, cancer, and mortality. So obesity is what we call an independent risk factor for non-communicable disease. Now, if you exercise, and even people who exercise who are obese, again, they show the same things. Now, if you practice, let's say you practice healthy habits, you eat a fibrous diet, but you eat too many calories, but you also exercise. Are you healthier than an obese person who does not exercise and also eats a bunch of junk? Yes, you are. But are you as healthy as somebody who also does all those things and who's also lean? Most likely not, right? Again, that's what an independent risk factor for obesity means. So again, I have no problem with the messaging of love yourself, But let's not live in fantasy land, and let's not pretend that there aren't negative consequences to that.
Absolutely. Of course, you should love yourself. Everyone should. No one's denying that. And it's people who are overweight, they have every right to be overweight, to eat what they want, to show them eating what they want. But the message of healthy at any size, it should be, let's be healthier at any size. Let's do what we can do to the best of our abilities to be healthier. And let's not kid ourselves and pretend, and as you said, live in imagination land where we think that just because we're doing our 20-minute walk every day and we're 400 pounds, that we're just as healthy, and it doesn't matter, because it does in fact matter.
Yeah, I mean, again, I got into it with a gal from the UK, and her screen name was Fat Doctor UK, and she's actually a physician. And her Instagram, a lot of it is her like obeying her hunger signals, which is eating, junk food and that sort of thing. And it's like, okay, but if you want to portray health at every size, why not like show you like doing some exercise? You know what I mean? Or eating some high fibrous foods, and okay, eat the junk food, that's fine, but mix it in with some high fibrous foods, right? Like with some healthy foods. But there's not that messaging, and so I think that, again, it's her social media, she can do what she wants with it. But I think it would mean more to her audience if she was showing those sorts of things, especially if you're promoting health at every size.
Absolutely. I mean, I wish they would do more to say, hey, I love my body, and I also love it enough to move. And, I'm eating a lot of junk because that's my choice, but please exercise and you'll be healthier for it.